I am Pamela J. Oakes, and I am the owner of The Profitable Nonprofit. That's the name of my business. It's an independent consulting firm. I got started in this work years ago doing some short-term humanitarian projects. So I did that for several years, and an opportunity came up for me to actually move overseas to Johannesburg, South Africa, consulting the top 100 companies in South Africa. And that was amazing work. During our downtimes, we'd still go into the townships or rural villages and initiate self-empowerment projects. I am originally from Seattle, Washington, but I thought when I go back home, I'd love to work for the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. So that's what I did, came back, worked for them as a grant maker. And what I realized very quickly is that there was a real disconnect between a lot of the communities that needed the money and these huge pools of money sitting in the bank account of the Gates Foundation or other big funders. And what I realized very quickly, it was oftentimes the usual suspects that get the money, and communities of color and nonprofits led by people of color were oftentimes completely cut out of that funding loop. So I started consulting to help community-led organizations understand how to position themselves to get on the radar of these large organizations, to build that network so that they can qualify for the funding. Even when I'm working with nonprofits, they figure we have this great cause, and so if we're just doing this great work, then people will just automatically be throwing money at us. And it just doesn't work that way. Even in business, you have to literally go out there and network and build those relationships. And so what happens, especially for businesses of color, nonprofits of color, we have been systematically shut out of those networks. You have to think about, how do more and more people hear your story of what you are doing? It's kind of like having a hit song. You know, when Beyonce had that song, Single Ladies, it was everywhere. When you think of your nonprofit story, that's your hit song. You need to be singing that over and over and over again to build momentum so that people in your city, in your neighborhood, hear that story. Now, they might not know all the lyrics to your song, but they should at least know the hook.